Louis Theroux, hello. Two quick questions. Coming out of this extraordinary year, what lesson would you say that you would like to bring forward with you? And two, did you go to Oxford?
Thank you for that, Chris. We'll answer the second question first. As you well know, I did go to Oxford and got a first in history. But that's not important, and it doesn't make me better than anyone else. And thank you for bringing it up. To answer the first question, what's coming to mind is the fact that this extraordinary year shows no sign of ending, right? So I first want to acknowledge that we are still in the middle of it, and there was a time when it seemed as though it would be confined to 2020, and it's like, roll on 2021, it's all going to be different, and it's not. We sort of imagined ourselves to be somewhat impregnable, and I think quite rightly felt a degree of responsibility for what was happening to the planet, that we would run amok, and that we were the apex predators. But it turns out that we're more vulnerable than perhaps we realized, and perhaps that was something we needed to learn, and to learn it in a way that's so sort of undignified and humiliating, that our adversary isn't a space alien or Godzilla or King Kong or some kind of supernatural creature running amok, but like a tiny virus, a life form that isn't even clearly a life form, right? A scrap of DNA wrapped in protein that self-replicates. Well, that was a really happy thought. Thanks, Chris.
Hey, yo, if it isn't Louis Theroux! Alright, anyway, what were your top 5 songs in 2020, my G?
Oh, he called me a G. We liked that. Top 5 songs in 2020. This is a naked attempt for me to get me to mention one of his songs. Holy cow, this is hard. I'm just going to talk about what I listened to. It doesn't really matter when it came out, right? Just in Time by Nina Simone, which is what I like to listen to when I've had a few drinks and I'm doing the washing up. I actually have a few on my Spotify. Okay, bear with me. Foot Fungus by Ski Mask the Slump God. Blueberry Fago by Lil Mosey. Nightmares by Easy Life. Music has been one of those things, especially music in the kitchen, music in lockdown, kitchen discos. That's one of the things that's really kept me together, especially after the kids have gone to bed and my wife and I have stayed up, maybe on a Friday or Saturday night, having a few drinks and dancing in the kitchen.
Hi Louis. So, a lot of your documentaries have really catchy titles that make you want to watch it, like The Most Hated Family in America. So my question to you is, if you had a documentary made about yourself, what would you call it and why?
Not too much angst associated with that question. Is it too cheesy to say Through the Looking Glass? What you definitely wouldn't call it is Being Louis Theroux. That trope is overworked. Through the Keyhole? Theroux versus Theroux? All the Year Theroux? That's no good. Forget that one. Louis? That's not a good title. My Louis Theroux movie. Louis on Louis. Louis on Theroux. Thoroughly yours. All sleep tight, all through the night. That's as good as it's going to get. What about Close Encounters of the Nerd Kind? That's got something.
I was just reading about Tom Cruise shouting at the crew on Mission Impossible there. And I wondered if Louis has any strategies on set for keeping things amicable.
Okay, good question. I thought, when he mentioned Tom Cruise, I thought the subject of Scientology was going to come up, and I was girding myself for that, and actually it was a question about keeping things amicable on set and conflict resolution maybe, and just work practices, right? Actually, how do you not be a dick maybe, and even if other people, if you disagree with them, and you know, I think it begs the question really of who are you working with and to what extent is conflict likely to arise. In the end, I try and remind myself that we are all trying to make the program as good as possible. I won't pretend that we've never had fallings out, when I felt that I was pushed into sort of, I don't know, participation that didn't feel completely comfortable. I'm thinking specifically of when I did a program about a brothel, and in story meetings on location we'd be talking about, well, Louis needs to get involved, and when are we going to get the scene of Louis booking a party or getting a massage? And I remember it really put my back up, because I sort of thought, you're talking about this very sort of blithely, as though, it has no consequences for Louis, in my personal life. But actually, I have to live with this, and I really need you to understand that this is a big thing for me, on a personal basis, managing how it affects me and my relationships. I don't think I've really answered the question, but I've done my best. Grounded with Louis Theroux on BBC Sounds.